Hi, I'm a dismissive avoidant, and if I were honest and could tell you the truth, this is what I would tell you. I fear engulfment, and frankly, your needs feel engulfing to me. I'm gonna push you away, and I'm gonna make you feel really weird about it too. In fact, I might even make you feel bad about it. This comes from my childhood, where I became extremely self-reliant because I had to meet my own needs, and I learned how to auto-regulate rather than co-regulate with another person, especially a partner. I need alone time to recharge. And if you try to encroach on that alone time, it's gonna feel really activating for me because I'm using that time to actually deactivate, to get out of the emotional intimacy of this relationship. So you need to give me that time to deactivate so I can come back in, so that when I'm activated again, I can deactivate again, and this cycle will continue ad infinitum. I'm not pulling away from you because I don't love you, or I don't want to be with you, or I don't care. It's because I'm afraid. I'm afraid of being engulfed by you. I'm afraid of being needed by somebody because frankly, I don't really have any needs. I'm not in touch with those needs. And so when someone else has expectations or needs from me and expects me to meet them and doesn't know how to meet them themselves, it feels really overwhelming to me. So I'll probably push you away because I'm afraid that I'm going to disappear into this relationship. I'm afraid that I'm going to lose my sense of self. And the only way I know to retain that sense of self is to go away and auto-regulate by myself. And this might be seen as I might dabble in hobbies, I might become a workaholic, I might disappear for a few days and then suddenly reappear. And I'm going to be totally fine at that point until I need to deactivate again, until I need to pull away, which will inevitably happen. In childhood, I had to find ways to self-soothe and repair from the time that I was a child, really. So my parents may have left me in the crib and said, you know what, let them self-soothe and get themselves to sleep. So I came to not rely on other people. So therefore, I don't rely on other people. But when people rely on me, it feels really weird and it feels really overwhelming. So when you come to me with your needs, I'm likely going to be annoyed. You're going to see this as annoyance. You might see this as aloofness or coldness or stoicism. But at the very least, I'm not going to know how to handle them because I don't even know how to handle my own needs because wait a minute, do I even have needs? I forgot. I get uncomfortable when people lean on me too much emotionally because the truth is I don't even fully know or trust myself. I didn't get enough contact nutrition in childhood. I wasn't emotionally taken care of. I may have physically had all my needs met. In fact, I may have even grown up in a wealthy household. It doesn't really matter because emotionally I was neglected to some degree. I was never really met on an emotional level, even if all my physical needs were met every single day, every single moment of every single day. So I avoid needing others and wanting contact because I learned that I have to self-soothe. I learned that that's the only way is to self-soothe. I don't know how to co-regulate. I don't know how to do that with a friendship or a family member, or definitely not in a romantic relationship. That feels the most smothering, the most engulfing to me. I believe that I'm defective at my core and that no one's ever actually going to be there for me because no one actually ever has. And in fact, I will introduce people and situations into my life to confirm that limiting belief that nobody's going to be there for me, and to confirm the limiting belief that I'm defective at my core. In fact, you might even hear me say this. I'm defective, I'm deeply wounded, I'm deeply flawed because I believe that I am. You might even hear me say at the end of the relationship, or even in the middle of it, or even in the beginning of it, this is a red flag. I might say to you, I don't really know how to be in a relationship. In fact, I don't really think I'm cut out for relationships. Think about what I'm telling you, because I'm telling you the truth. I really, truly, at my core, don't know if I'm capable of doing this. Of course I am, but I don't really know that because I have these limiting beliefs that are deeply, deeply wounding. I will deactivate inside of a relationship anytime things get too intense emotionally. You might see me pull away intimately. I may pull away from sex. I might walk ahead of you when we're walking, and that might feel really disrespectful, especially if you're anxiously attached or even fearful avoidantly attached. I might pick up my phone and scroll mindlessly while you're sitting right next to me. So you may feel that you're actually alone inside of this relationship, even though I'm right next to you. You're not going to be able to pinpoint or really understand exactly why you don't feel that emotional closeness or intimacy. It's going to be very confusing to you as the partner because I may show up really, really amazingly in certain ways. I pride myself on acts of service. So acts of service meaning anything that's logical. You need gas in your car. You need your oil changed. I'm going to remember to pick up your favorite snacks. I might even give you cards for your birthday or for anniversaries. I'm able to do these physical acts of service because they don't require that intimate conversation. They don't require physical intimacy. So it's requiring less of me. And therefore, I'm able to do that. And I'm able to keep you just enough, right? To keep you rooted just enough in the relationship that you feel safe and secure. But on some level, you're going to feel insecure because you're not really getting to know the true me, because there's a wall that I have up. In fact, and I'll talk about this in a little bit. So I may also start a sentence and then trail off as a form of disconnecting subconsciously. I'm not even going to know I'm doing this. And then when you go, hey, what were you trying to say? I'm just going to mumble something. And you're going to be left wondering, well, what were they saying? Or maybe you're going to say something to me and I'm just going to say nothing. And you're going to feel, again, rejected. You're going to feel abandoned inside of this relationship. You're going to feel like I don't really care. It's far from the truth. It's just I don't know how to show that I care because I'm so busy keeping up a wall subconsciously to protect myself from people needing me and me needing people that I'm constantly pushing you away subconsciously. I learned from a very young age that having needs is really dangerous. So I'm going to find something other than being inside of this relationship, really anything than connecting. I'm going to find a way to disconnect and deactivate whenever I need to. And I'm not even going to know I'm doing it. And so I'm probably not going to even explain it to you. And you might even start to wonder if I'm cheating. You might start to wonder if there's somebody else. There might be, but chances are there isn't. It's just me going and auto-regulating by myself for hours and hours, sometimes days or weeks on end, and you're left wondering what is going on and where do I stand inside of this relationship. I really excel at these acts of service, so I really need you, if you love me and want to be with me, and you can handle the fact that I'm a dismissive avoidant, I really need you to know that that is my love language and to really appreciate that and let me know that you appreciate that. I'm going to put gas in your car, a roof over your head, money in the bank, and I'm going to create physical safety just like was done for me by my caretakers, but I will struggle with that emotional closeness and intimacy. I'll tell you I can do it myself. So if you offer to do something for me and maybe replicate an act of service, I'm going to say, no, I can do it myself. And if you try to do it for me, you're probably going to get it wrong because I do things meticulously a certain way. And I have a routine and I don't really like that routine interrupted because I'm really hyper independent. I've had to be hyper independent because look at what happened to me in my childhood. And then you're probably going to struggle with feeling like I don't need you. And this is going to create a power imbalance inside of the relationship. And I might even go so far as to say, hey, you don't contribute anything. You don't do anything for me inside of this relationship. But the truth is that I'm not giving you an opportunity to do anything for me inside of this relationship. I auto-regulate, and it's really painful for me to be pulled out of this state. And I just wanted to touch on that again to let you know, because it's very painful if you try to interrupt this process preemptively. I might kind of lash out at you. I might even need more time after that because now you've activated me again. So now I need to go deactivate for even longer. So just let me have this time and I'll come to you when I'm ready. I live in my mind and my left brain and I feel really safe here. This is where I feel safe. This is where I live. This is where I want to be. I live in shallow waters. The deep waters really scare me. You might see me go there, especially if there's, some sort of mind-altering substance around. You might see me go deeper and go to that place, and you might get really excited and go, wow, this is the person that I met in the beginning. Because in the beginning, I probably showed up really strong, really passionate, and even was able to emotionally connect with you intimately. But that's because things weren't serious yet. We didn't have a label on it, and life hadn't really happened yet, right? So there wasn't really a chance for you to truly get to know me on a deeper level. You won't experience a lot of eye contact or micro expressions from me because that's scary. It's scary for me to go to those places because when I make eye contact or I'm able to give you micro expressions, and you're going to start to get an idea of who I really am. And I feel a defective at my core. I feel very unworthy at my core. So I feel like you're just going to push me away anyway. So if I can keep you at arm's length, then you can't push me away because I've been pushing you away this entire time. I'm going to make it difficult for you to decipher what I'm thinking or feeling at all times. And again, this is where that confusion comes in. You're going to feel really confused. And eventually you might even get to a place, if you're anxiously attached or a fearful avoidant inside of a relationship with me, the dismissive avoidant, you might actually start to feel like, you know what? I'm going to pull away. And then you have two people pulling away and avoiding, because eventually, probably as my partner, you're going to feel like the only thing that you can do to keep yourself safe and to protect yourself is to pull away as much as I'm pulling away. And then there really is no relationship. Then we become roommates. We're not even partners anymore. And then there's nothing to talk about, and there's no true connection. But I don't know what I expect, because if I'm not able to deliver emotional closeness and intimacy, and I keep things surface level and superficial, how can I expect somebody to thrive on that when truly, as human beings, we all need and thrive on love and attachment? We all want that. Even I want that at my core, but I don't really know that I want that, because consciously, I never bring that need or that need for closeness or intimacy or love to the surface. I do love you. I just may not know how to show it. I'm probably going to show it in acts of service, and that may or may not be enough for you. I'm going to be stoic, reserved, and pretty serious. I may appear laid back in the beginning, but that is far from the truth. So good luck getting through my walls, because those walls are strong and impenetrable. And in fact, no one's ever really gotten through them. So if you're able to even put a dent in those walls, then good on you. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to change. That means maybe I'll change temporarily, or maybe I'll start going to therapy. But I have to really want to change myself. I have to really want to look within. And that's very scary, because that means going to places that I've never been my entire life. And depending how old I am, those walls could have been erected, could be wall upon wall upon wall. And if you or anyone, a therapist or anyone, is able to penetrate those walls, then I'm going to feel truly seen, and you're going to know how defective I am, and you're going to know that I'm not really worthy, and I'm probably going to run away before that can even happen. So I'm not really sure what I can offer long term. I know that I want love and I need love just like everybody else. I'm a human being, but I also know that being intimately close with somebody is the scariest thing for me, and I'm going to probably numb out when things start to get really serious, and I might even project. I might get angry or rage, and you might start to feel like you're alone inside of this relationship. I'm deeply, deeply flawed and wounded, and I'm really defective at my core. So if I could tell you how I felt truly inside, that's what I would say. I would probably tell you to run, because I don't think I can give you what you need. You deserve something more. Good luck.